Welcome back, everyone, to the land where EMD standard cabs rule and ancient horns are the only ones you'll hear, the CSS Kingsbury branch. I've been collecting a lot of footage of this line recently, so let's get straight into it. We're going to start on March 24th, when I made a short journey down to Stillwell. By the time I was there, the local was already leaving, so it was perfect timing. Power was 2003 leading, with 2004 the Accidental Heritage Unit trailing second. I wish 2004 was leading because it has a way better tuned horn than 2003, and it being the Accidental Heritage Unit is novel. If you don't know, 2004 is the Accidental Heritage Unit because it was in the old South Shore orange, and then it was contracted out to be repainted, and the contractor didn't realize that they had changed the scheme, so it got a new coat of the old livery, making it an Accidental Heritage Unit. Sadly, as the train was reversing for its roll-by inspection, I realized the two locos weren't going to pass me again, as they only made it as far as the last crossing. I was disappointed, but I was less disappointed when I saw 2004 accelerate, because it was definitely having some sort of mechanical problem, because it was smoking really bad. Whatever that was, I hope they fix it, because I want to see 2004 again. And now we have the incredibly annoying chase I alluded to in the title, which is on April 6th. Now on this day I was on spring break, so I figured I could catch the southbound run of the local as well as the northbound run. So we drove into Stillwell, and unfortunately I don't have any pictures of this, but we saw the local go south as we were driving in. And it had the SD38 Duo! For context, the two South Shore ex-Iowa Interstate SD38s almost never come down the Kingsbury branch. That's because they have higher tractive effort than the Jeep, so they're normally kept up on the South Shore Electric Railway, hauling coal for the Michigan City Power Plant and just other trains on that line because those tend to be longer and then the extra tractive effort. The Kingsbury branch trains are short, so normally 2 Jeeps will suffice. So seeing the SD38-2s on this line is so rare, let alone both of them. I've only seen one before, and that was 805, so I had to try and catch these. So we headed fully into Stillwell so I could attempt to see them in the yard, and as we were driving in, we saw this CN Intermodal with a 100th anniversary leader.
Or do they have gates? There it is. It is a CN.
It's 100th anniversary unit.
Now where are we going?
When we arrived in Stillwell, they were already leaving, and there was no road that took us that way quickly enough to catch up to them. So we had to wait for the return run in the afternoon, which I was even more determined to catch. We drove down to Stillwell around 5 p.m. when we thought they'd be leaving and expected to find them switching Stillwell. Nope! As we were driving down Highway 4, there they were! So we had to pull a U-turn and race back north. Thankfully, they go really slow, so surely we'll beat them to the Highway 4 crossing. Right? We did technically beat them to the crossing, but not fast enough for me to cross over to the non-backlit side. So we decided to chase them to the lake crossing. Surely we'll beat them to there, right? Okay, final attempt. The bread crossing. Surely! Okay, that's it. Let's just turn around. We've missed the train. Wait a minute. What? As it turned out, the two SE-38s had stopped a switch in LaPorte. Thank God, because that meant they were stopped so we could get ahead of them. So we set up at this crossing on Lincoln Way. Now we just had to wait for them to finish switching. And surely that won't take forever. Right? Right?
Please let this be the final movement. Just come over the crossing. That's all I need, man.
45 minutes later, they finally finished switching. Meanwhile, I sat in physical and mental pain on the side of this extremely busy roadway, and I couldn't sit down because it was a sidewalk, and normally that doesn't seem like it would be a problem until you realize that I sprained my ankle earlier that morning. Yeah, that's a story for another video. Anyways, they had finally finished switching, but they still weren't moving because they had to cross over the Chicago line. And as you can see here, CPKC 231 was currently blocking their way. But finally, after an hour of standing here, an hour! I get carried away in these videos. Anyway, it finally moved. Yay. Even with that fiasco fresh in my mind, I'm back to the Kingsbury branch only 4 days later on April 10th. This day, it was just 2 Jeeps with 2006 leading and 2002, thankfully, trailing. Watch this video for context. Anyways, I set up at the crossing in Stillwell that I normally do, and it wasn't too long before the train arrived. Since this was a pretty normal consist, I decided to do something cool. Get my camera run over by it. I brought a second camera so I didn't have to put my camcorder underground, and managed to snap a shot of underneath the train and a normal one, getting an awesome horn show from 2006 because this thing has the best tuned RS3K on the roster. After the train stopped for its roll-by inspection, I set my camera on the path in the little wooded area between the two crossings to get a low-down shot, and because of that, I ended up capturing some of the awesome slack action as the cars were pushed backwards. With the inspection now complete, they brought the train to a halt and the two other crew members climbed back in. And after that, it throttled back up with more awesome horn blasts. An interesting tidbit about 2006 is it has an Indiana Bicentennial sticker on the long hood, which I got a good pan on as it accelerated. And to finish this video, we have a very brief trip on April 13th. Once again, when I arrived in Stillwell, the train was already leaving. I barely had enough time to snap a picture of this awesome butterfly before it started approaching. 2006 was leading and 2005 was trailing. Nothing too special, so I decided to go for a unique shot, standing at the other crossing and getting a video of it passing the admittedly really funnily small signal. For some reason, it didn't stop for a roll-by inspection on this day. No idea why. And that marks the end of yet another showcase of the Kingsbury branch. Gotta love this line. Anything's better than the horrible GE-ridden Class 1 abominations. See you in the next video. Make sure to catch those units while you can, especially the SD38s, and I will see you in the next video.